Hello, what is going on, guys? My name is clutchsometimes, here bringing you your Season 1 UUNL draft analysis. The draft just finished. I just wanted to get my thoughts out because I don't really feel too confident in this team at the moment, but I think because it's really not much of a standout in my eyes. There's nothing that really stands out on. I guess Jirachi's obviously really good. Mammoth Swine's obviously really good. Thunders Incarnate's obviously really good. But I kind of want to convince myself that it's actually good to an extent, because I think this team has a lot of potential. I think once I get actually prepping to it, it's going to be a lot of fun to use. So let's just get right into it. I picked 11th overall in this draft. I wasn't really excited about that, but there was kind of some more busted stuff allowed. Sheer Force Landers Incarnate is allowed in this league, so that's going to be a real pain to deal with it. Because I think I do play it. I haven't really checked the schedule much yet. I haven't really looked at most of the teams, really. But our first pick was Jirachi. I am really excited about this Pokemon. I've never used Jirachi before. I've only really used Shaman and Arcanine in the draft format. I used Shaman on the team that I won my title I really consider mine on. And I used Arcanine in the pool play to decide who got into this league. Kind of a little mini tournament thing. I really like using Arcanine. I need to fire type for this team. Arcanine fit the bill. But back to Jirachi. Jirachi is one of my Z captains. You'll see it holding the Steelium Z here. I really think about Jirachi. It's just its wide utility. Obviously Serene Grace, Iron Head, Moonblast is there. Play rough if you want to go physical. Meteor Mash exists. Ice punch, it gets the elemental punches. I think it gets fire punch, energy ball. It hits a ton of coverage. It gets access to boosting moves and calm mind. Gets dual screens. It does get dual screens. We get rest. We get wish. We get U-turn. So many real options here. I think what makes me really excited about Jirachi, you see it holding the Steelium Z. If you just look at base power moves, it gets a base 140 power move in Doom Desire, which is kind of like a future sight, but almost not. It's essentially a future sight, but it's stab and steel type, and it hits like a dang truck when it hits. Great for phasing, great for just doing extra chip damage on. But you slap a Z Crystal on it, and it's a 200 base power steel type move that hits right now, and it is hard to switch into. Obviously Z Future Sight's similar. It's a base 180 stab psychic type move. Those two hit like a dang truck for Jirachi. I think that's kind of why I went with it. Also, there's the fact that my team doesn't have a lot of real eligible Z captains outside of Thunders Incarnate. Base 100 stats across the board. Obviously, a really nice looking shiny. If I don't say so myself, really really simple, but I really like it. Might use it. I haven't come up with nicknames yet. I'm really just getting my thoughts out. You'll see nicknames as they come. They might be themed. I'm thinking maybe theming them like Futurama. I'm not sure yet. But Jirachi, really excited to use. Lots of options. Great mon. It's got a few weaknesses, but if you're trying to cover with this team, one of them I think, I drafted Feeny, kind of on the thought Jirachi doesn't like taking Scalds or any form of real status. So, and Misty Surge is something that prevents that. I drafted Feeny kind of bulky water, nice fairy type to pair with Jirachi. So I did not get a dragon with this. I'm not upset about that. I'm really more to the point where Tapu Fini is a very interesting mod. Again, nice clerical things. Defog, Haze, Moonblast is nice. Knockoff, super sweet. Nature's Madness can start chipping things down. Taunt is super. It's got a really nice move pool. It does what it does really well. Refresh, I think, is really interesting on Fini. If you somehow manage to status it, it can actually cure its own status, which is kind of cool. Nature Power turns into Moonblast and Misty Surge, but somewhere else, on Electric Training, it turns into Grass Move, etc., etc. What I really like about Feeny is the fact I like and dislike this about Feeny is Misty Surge. Misty Terrain is a very interesting thing because a lot of ways you bail yourself out of situations is status. I think you have Setup Sweeper, you try to status things, and you try to make it so you don't deal with it. You don't have to deal with it for as long. Like, oh, there's something that's setting up a Dragonade. Let me just throw a Toxic on it. And I think Feeney makes it really interesting to have to deal with that. So, like, Feeney is really great defensively. Great 71, 115, 130 stats. It can take just a wide variety of hits when you need it to. Great defensive typing and Water Fairy. I really love this typing. Thing that I don't like about Feeney, no reliable recovery because it can't get rest. Doesn't get any form of recovery. So you have to rely on leftovers, and if you get those knocked off, it becomes kind of an issue. Essentially, is what I'm saying. But I do really like it with Jirachi, because Jirachi can take a Scald like really easily from like something that doesn't necessarily hit as hard, and it can kind of wall it and wish up and set up in its face and like really do a lot of damage. So I like these two kind of together as a core. If you hear any barking, that is my dog George. I apologize for that. So I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, wow, I need knockoff switch-ins because these two together, they don't like knockoff like almost whatsoever. Like Jirachi is just weak to it. Feeney doesn't like his leftovers gone. And this team, I'm sitting there going, man, this team's kind of weak to steel types. So I drafted Mamoswine. I'm like, Jirachi doesn't break through steel types very well at all. Feeney also gets somewhat well to an extent because like you can't really run Scald very effectively on it because it doesn't burn. Scald does not burn on Misty Terrain, which is really frustrating. But so I'm not sure how I feel about this Pokemon. Like I like it, but I also like don't like it to an extent. But I ended up drafting Mamoswine. Mamoswine really appreciates the fact that you cannot burn it with Scald. You can't throw a Wisp on it. It's really... I think Mamoswine becomes infinitely like tougher to deal with. Not that not infinitely tough. It becomes something that's really somewhat hard to deal with on Misty Terrain when you can't put a Wisp on it. You can't burn it with Scald. You can't do that to it. And it becomes something that's really annoying to deal with. It's also my second Stealth Rocker. Because I want freedom with Jirachi. I don't want Jirachi just to be locked into like, oh, you must run Wish, Protect, like U-turn Iron Head every week, Spadef set, like some weird set like that. I don't want to have to run that every week. Mamoswine helps me ease up rocks. It also can be kind of defensive. It's a really nice typing. It gives me a really solid ground type. And I think that's really useful here. Because it helps out Feeney, so it doesn't have to take electric hits, but this makes me kind of weak to grass, which I end up patching up with my later picks. And of course, Mamoswine is just Mamo. Everything about Mamo is hard to deal with. Great stab priority in Ice Shard, a nearly unresisted dual stab. If you resist it, you get hit with a knockoff, or it sets rocks in your face and gets out. Like it's just a really good Pokemon. I'm really excited to use it. I have never used it in the draft format before. One of the things I am excited to use and excited to really get into it. So another thing I'm thinking about, I started drafting around with Feeney. My ideas kind of went more towards like, I want things that want to set up and don't like stats when they're setting up. And like, I needed a knockoff switch in. And Mega Tyranitar. I went with Mega T-Tar. I know that this was really early. But I think I really wanted Mamoswine. And I was debating between Tangrowth and Tangrowth here for like a grass type, so like I could pivot in on like this ground weakness I'm slowly really developing a ton of. But I went for T-Tar because like Tangrowth I wanted Zapdos here. I really wanted Zapdos as well. But I ended up with Thundurus Incarnate, which I'm not entirely mad at now that I'm looking at it. But I really wanted a more defensive team at first, but I ended up with... I just drafted Tyranitar because I'm like, I don't want to... I thought Tangrowth would last because no one had gotten grass types at the point. I was like, I think might be too early to get a grass type. And then like, I had to wait like 15 more picks and like a ton of grass types with it. I was like, okay, that sucks. But so I got to make a Tyranitar. Extremely threatening Pokemon. 164 base attack, 150 defense, 120 speed def, 71 speed tier. I think is a fantastic speed tier, especially if you're running DD Megatar. Like it's just fantastic. It hits so hard. I guess those elemental punches, obviously Stone Edge from a +1 Megatar is like ridiculously hard to switch into. Great coverage, move pool, pursuit, trapping. Can be run defensive with rocks. You have some speed for like taunt. It's got a ton of utility. Thunder Wave. I really wanted to go like full defensive Megatar. Like, and just offensively is so potent. Like 333 attack. That's uninvested. That's harder than that's higher than Jirachi will ever hit, like adamant. And that's why are you negative? It maxes out at 328, and Megatar like no attack investment, nothing. Oh, why is that minus? Yeah, like no attack will hit 364. It's just ridiculous how hard this Pokemon can hit. Nice clean shiny too, by the way. But like, great coverage, great dual stab, a lot of weaknesses. I have really solid Fighting Check and Feeny. I get a couple more down the line I really like. But Megatar, I think Megatar's gonna put a ton of work on this team. And after that I said, and after I lost Tangrowth, I really, really wanted Tangrowth. I needed a grass type because I have two things that are like, I end up with three things that are like pretty weak to ground, and ground spam is really tough. And like realized my team does not like grass plus like grass and ground coverage is really frustrating for my team to deal with. So I draft Shaman. I needed a grass type, pairs really well with Feeny. Pairs really well with Feeny. I do know the nickname for this because I used it in my other league. This is gonna be Hedgelord because that's just the way it is. Great coverage move pool. Steed Flare is fantastic. Air Slash can be clerical with aromatherapy, but I have Feeny, so like, priority and quick attack. Psychic is a solid move. Gets Tailwind, like synthesis, reliable recovery and synthesis. Gets Leech Seed. It's less reliable with Sandstorm around, but that's gonna be the way it is. Because I do get Leech Seed, which is nice. Endeavor is really kind of cool. It's got a lot of. It's just a nice grass type, and it comes in on grass type attacks and takes nothing because it's just so like base 100s all across the board for a grass type is really, really nice because it's really like customizable to the extent like run a few things here, run a few things there, and like you can wall a pretty good chunk of teams sometimes. I'm really excited to use it. Also, since you can't status it, it becomes even more effective with Leech Seed and recovery, and like it's just nice. I think it's gonna be a really interesting mon to use again. On this team, I think it's gonna play a pretty pivotal role against like ground types. So again, looking to this team, I'm still kind of weak to ground, and I needed a defogger at this point because Feeny's my only defogger. I mean, I'm not really weak to rocks, but I was going to end up getting a fire type later in the draft so I can pressure steals more for Megatar and Jirachi. And so I ended up with Crobat. Like, Crobat is something I'm really excited about. I also never used this before. Great defogger, great solid, like, great speed tier. The speed tier also, like, really helped sell me on Crobat. Great coverage in Brave Bird. Nasty Bat, something that can definitely be run. That's my dog. This is George. You can't see him, but he's here. Nasty Bat's definitely a set that can be run. Gets Haze, Taunt, Quick Attack, Pursuit potentially, Super Fang. Be a really nice stall breaker. Also gives me more Volt Turn. So now I have 2 mons with Volt Turn. I end up with 3 total. Does Chimek get U-turn? It does not. So that's 1, 2, 3. I end up with 3 mons with U-turn, which isn't bad. I've played the season with 0. Not my favorite thing. I do like some U-turn. I don't get the overflow on it, even though it can be kind of easy just to click U-turn, as long as you can switch into their threats. I think Crobat's got a lot of utility, and this team needed that utility. It had a lot of power, and Jirachi is a nice utility, but I think I wanted something that I needed a fast taunt, and Crobat also gives me that as well. Fast taunt, defog, hard hitting Brave Birds. I'm happy with it. So like, I was talking to my friend Sam. Sam, shout out. Hi. Thanks for the help. I know I sent like so many messages to you like, hey, how do I do this? Please help me. I'm suffering. Because like mid draft I was like really starting to like loathe Feeny because like a lot of like what I do is like throw a status on this. Like I have Thunderous here, but I can't really run Prankster like Thunder Waves on it because Feeny is on the field. But I end up with Arcanine. And Arcanine is, I use it in the pools to get in. It's absolutely one of my favorite things I use in the pools. I also use Zeraora and Landorus Eye, which was like also a ton of fun. But like Arcanine just has so much utility. Again, like more utility, and it's pretty strong for a fire type. Like it's strong defensively for a fire type. Like 90, 80, 80 bulk is really nice and it's really well rounded. And I needed that well roundedness. I needed to not be like kind of on the extreme with this team because it seems almost turns the extremes, like really high attack here, solid defense, really offensive. I have a couple more balanced things, but I think I needed that balance, another more balanced mon. So I got Arcanine. Great move pool, reliable in Cover Morning Sun. Again, that's what's like. Both of my two of my mons with reliable recovery have like weather issues, so I'm not sure how I feel about that quite yet. But like access to roar, substitute. I mean, everything gets substitute. I mean, burn up is a super cool move I've seen put in some work against the teams, because like not Z burn, just straight burn up just hits something really hard. Wild charge to help break through bulky waters. Like flare blade, banded flare blades can put the work in on some teams. It gets like dragon coverage, so you can break through dragons. Like Arcanine is just a really good mon. I'll be really excited to use this thing again. So yeah, moving on. For a really long time, I wanted Zapdos on this draft, and it got sniped before I even got to like round 4. So I wanted a good flying resist. I know I had Jirachi, I know I had Tyranitar, but I wanted something that could really take hits. And it's a decent flying hit. So I got Thundurus. Thundurus is one of my other Z users. I think Thundii is just infinitely better. Both the Thunduruses are just infinitely better with Z moves. Nice speed tier. Both attack stats are really nice. So you can run Agility and like switch in on like a Defog, which I have webs on this team, so that could end up being really useful. Defiant user, Megatar, Jirachi, Mamoswine, Shaman to an extent, like on webs is really fun. I think it's gonna be really fun. Thundurus, I feel really good about. Knockoff coverage, nasty plot, potential dual dance sets, taunt, potentially prankster taunt, which I can't taunt dark types, but again, fast taunt user, so I can't get like, so I can help break through Volt Switch and U-turn, Thunder Wave. I know I've seen a lot of status moves. I'm really kind of keen on status. I'm not sure how keen I am on Feeny, but we will see as this goes on. I want to use Feeny, but I also like don't know how I feel about it. So I think I'll do more of a flavor for and see how much I go for it. How much I like it. Potentially Prankster Defog gives me another Defogger. That's 1, 2, 3 Defoggers on this team, which with webs is probably enough. Because like, and I think Crobat and Feeny are really 2 solid Defoggers. Like, you can run Defog most every week for me. I really like that. Thundurus is there. I think Thundurus is just a nice mon to have. You step in Agility and you start clicking Thunderbolts, and things don't like Thunderbolt that much, or like Z Fly like on Thundurus. I think Thundurus is one of those potent mons that you have to deal with. And like Z Focus Blast or something like that can potentially punch through a Steel type. I'm sorry for the stutter. Really potentially bust through some Steel type. Z Hammer if I want to be physical. Like, I think Thundurus can be really cool as he moves. And it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be really fun to use along with Jirachi and Mamoswine and Megatar. Like, this offense is kind of scary to switch into. You know, once I got through Thundurus, like, I really did not know what to do. I wanted Kofag, Kafagrigas for a while. So, like, I can maybe not bring Feeny, and I have something that can kind of take ground type attacks. And, like, kind of take ground type attacks just, like, with its great natural bulk. And, like, if I didn't bring Feeny, I could bring Toxic Spikes. And Jirachi with Toxic Spikes is really, really nice. But it got picked before it came back to me. I ended up with Shuckle. It's like, I wanted to, like, once I realized webs were kind of solid with my team, I wanted something that could get him up. So I was like, oh, Rabambi. And Rabambi is obviously gone at this point. It's round, like, 9. I'm like, okay, so I'm looking around, like, I was like, Cricketune and, like, garbage. And, like, what? As I saw Shuckle, I was like, that could actually be really solid. Because, obviously, you run Mental Herb on Shuckle and Sturdy, and you get something up. You get Stealth Rocks or Sticky Webs and, like, you're on, like, Encore, so you can't get set up fodder, and you run Final Gambit just to, like, get yourself the heck out. Like, I think it's just a solid Pokemon. It has Shell Smash, but does not get anywhere with it, obviously. But, like, I think it's just a really solid, like, it's gonna do one job on this team, and that's gonna be set rocks, set webs, and get the heck out. Which, honestly, is kind of what this team needed at this point. It needed something that could actually set rocks Like I could lead with get rocks up and get going. Get rocks up, get webs up, and get going. Because the team needed that kind of push sometimes. I think the team kind of needed that push. And like webs with this team is really scary. Jirachi on webs means I don't have to run a scarf every week, but I probably will anyway because I'm pretty. Sometimes I can struggle with all the options that something like a Jirachi can present. But hopefully I don't. Hopefully I really hope. Hope I can use Jirachi to its fullest potential. I really hope I do because I'm really excited to use it. So that's just gonna be Shuckle. After that, I'm looking like normal. I was looking for a normal breaker, something that can kind of come in on like hard hitting physical moves. Like, and Beware is like one of those things I've seen used before. Has a really nice attack stat, really bulky. Fluffy is a really cool ability, and so is Unnerve to an extent. But like, Beware can hit some stuff like pretty dang hard with that 125 base attack stat, and gets an SD up. It's also my third Z captain, my third and final Z user. So like, I could get an SD up and go for like a Z double edge, and Z double edge, Z drain punch, Z focus punch. Like, something is not going to want to take that hit from that, and I think Beware is going to be kind of interesting on webs as well. It gets taunt, sub. It gets its move pool is fairly limited. It does get pain split, which is super cool. So I can kind of like break through like fatter stuff with it. I think it's gonna be an interesting Pokemon to use. Like it's got decent coverage. Like Z Dual Chop can break through dragons. Like, but it has a Z Ice Punch. Like, and it gets Endure plus Flail. Like, Endure could be kind of cool with this. I'm thinking the potential sets now. Like, gets Earthquake coverage. Like, it gets some good coverage moves, and it gets just enough to like really just hit you hard with its stab. Because that stab is really hard to switch into most times. So at this point, I have the draft was points based. It was obviously not tier based if you look at my team, because like tier 1, if I'm looking at regular tiers, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 1 mega, tier 3, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, like tier 4, and then like another tier 4. Like, so I ended up having like I had 1 point left. I'm like, I like in my team, like I could really use another fighting resist because like I've got T-Tar and I've got Crobat and I've got Thunderous, and Feeny, like, and I want something that can like kind of take the bulky psychic thing off of Rachi. So I got Chimecho. It's also a ground resist because it has Levitate. I was between Hypno and Chimecho, but like I like Chimecho's kind of utility move pool. It's also another defogger if I really need one to. It gets Heal Bell. So if I don't bring Feeny, I can put Heal Bell support. It gets Taunt, Thunder Wave, Trick, Toxic. It gets Wish, and it also gets Reliable Recovery in Recover. Like, it's got a really sweet move pool. It gets Perish Song. Like, it gets a ton of coverage. And it's one of those things, like, you look at and you go, maybe it'll do something at some point. Like, I drafted it just kind of for the utility of Defog, and maybe doing something with like Calm Mind or not. Like, just nice utilities is always nice to have, I think. I really like utility mons sometimes. So yeah, that's gonna be the team. Hopefully I should be around for the whole season. I was around for the whole season of the PCL. I apologize for the PCL. I got a job, and it was kind of away from like internet and potential recording, and we got hit with like wildfires, and we had to close down early. So like it was kind of a problem. So I'm back now. I will be uploading this hopefully weekly once the season starts up. And I'm pretty excited for this team, actually. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's not super appetizing on paper, but I think once I start getting down to prep with it, I'm gonna have a lot of options to use, and I'm really excited for that. So until next time, peace.